Tonight, if you light a candle, you'll probably stare at it. You won't plan to, you won't decide to. But the moment the flame flickers to life, something in your eyes will lock onto it and hold. Your friends are talking. The conversation moves around the room. But you're still watching the orange glow dance across the darkness. You're not bored. You're not lost in thought. You're just looking. Here's what most people don't realize. That compulsion is not a choice. It's not even a preference. It's ancient code running through your nervous system, and it's been pulling your eyes toward fire for longer than you've been human. The real question isn't why you stare at fire. The question is why your brain is so desperately hooked that you can't look away. For most of human history, fire meant everything. It meant survival. It meant cooked food, which meant your brain got larger. It meant warmth on frozen nights. It meant protection from predators that feared the light. Fire wasn't luxury. Fire was a difference between living and dying. But something stranger happened. Fire wasn't just useful. Fire became magnetic. Your ancestors sat around fires for hundreds of thousands of years. Night after night, season after season, they gathered in circles while the darkness pressed in from every direction. The fire was their shield, their teacher, their clock. It told them when day was ending. It showed them danger approaching. It cooked their food and heated their bodies and held back the terror of the night. And because they did this every single night for thousands of generations, something shifted in their brains. Neurons connected in new ways. New patterns formed. Watching fire became wired into the deepest layers of your reward system, right alongside eating and social bonding and safety. Your brain learned that fire was good. Not just good, safe. And the closer you paid attention to it, the safer you were. This is where neuroscientist James Cone's research on threat perception becomes crucial. Cone's work at the University of Virginia shows that your brain is constantly scanning for threats. Your amygdala, that ancient almond-shaped structure buried deep in your skull, is always watching for danger. And here's the key part. It doesn't just detect threats. It also detects safety. When your brain perceives safety, something shifts. Your nervous system calms, your heart rate slows, your focus narrows, and fire, to your ancient brain, is one of the most powerful safety signals that exists. So when you sit in front of a fire, even a small one, even just a candle flame, your amygdala recognizes it. Your brain says, light in the darkness, warmth nearby, predators won't approach, the tribe is here, you are safe. Your eyes lock, your shoulders drop. You stop thinking and just watch. But there's another layer to this, and it's even stranger. Humans are the only species on Earth that can stare at fire without it being about immediate survival. A deer doesn't gather around the campfire for enjoyment. A wolf doesn't sit watching flames for an hour just to feel calm. Only humans do that. There is a reason, and it has to do with something called the default mode network in your brain. The default mode network is a system of interconnected brain regions that activates when you're not focused on the outside world, when you're daydreaming, when you're remembering the past, when you're imagining the future, when you're thinking about yourself. It's the network that handles your inner life, your sense of self, your autobiographical memory. For most of human evolution, your ancestors didn't have the luxury of sitting around thinking about themselves. They were hunting, running from predators, finding shelter, gathering food. The default mode network was there, but it wasn't in heavy use. Then came fire. And for the first time, humans could sit down, could stop moving, could rest while still being safe. And in that moment, something new became possible. Introspection, storytelling, sitting with your own thoughts while you watch the flames. Psychologist and consciousness researcher Anil Seth has done extensive work on how attention shapes perception. Seth's research suggests that the more you attend to something, the more real it becomes to you. The more resources your brain devotes to it, the more it dominates your conscious experience. When you stare at fire, you're not just watching flames. You're allowing your brain to enter a state where the default mode network can activate while you're still alert to your environment. You're essentially meditating, but not on purpose. Your attention narrows to the flames. Your sense of time becomes elastic. Thoughts come and go. And for a moment, you're not anxious about tomorrow or guilty about yesterday. You're just present with the fire. This is why humans are drawn to fire in ways that have nothing to do with warmth or cooking anymore. The fire itself has become a tool for your nervous system. It's a way to calm yourself, to think without thinking, to be alone with your thoughts while the world watches over you. But there's something even deeper happening, and this is where the real mystery begins. Humans and fire have a unique relationship in the animal kingdom. We are the only species that tamed fire. We are the only species that uses fire to cook, to communicate, to mark time, to create art. And crucially, we are the only species that can become hypnotized by it. This wasn't an accident. According to anthropologist Richard Wrangham's work on the evolution of cooking and human development, fire literally changed the structure of our brains. When humans began cooking food with fire, our digestive system didn't have to work as hard. Our gut shrank, our calories became more efficient, and our brains grew larger. Cooking with fire created the caloric surplus that allowed human brains to become the largest in the primate world. Fire didn't just help humans survive. Fire made humans human. And because of that, watching fire is like watching your own origin story. Your brain is responding to it not just as a tool, but as a fundamental part of your identity. You are a fire-using creature. Staring at fire is part of what it means to be you. This brings us to another key insight, and it's one that most people miss. Your compulsion to stare at fire is actually a sign that your nervous system recognizes something your conscious mind doesn't. It recognizes home. For most of human evolution, home wasn't a house. Home was a fire. The light in the darkness, the warmth in the cold, the gathering place where your tribe lived and told stories and passed on knowledge. Your ancestors didn't leave the fire because they were satisfied. They left because they had to hunt, to gather, to move to the next camp. This is why humans built fires for so long even after they had other sources of light and heat. This is why fireplaces are still considered luxuries in modern homes. This is why you'll scroll past 100 things on social media to stop at a video of a fireplace. Your brain recognizes something primal happening. It recognizes safety. But here's the counterintuitive part, and this is where the story turns. For most of human history, fire was dangerous. People burned to death. Children fell into flames. Entire settlements were destroyed by accidental fires. Fire kept you warm, but fire could also kill you. So your ancestors didn't just develop a compulsion to stare at fire. They developed a deep, almost paradoxical relationship with it. They respected it. They feared it. They revered it. They gathered around it every night of their lives, understanding on some level that they were playing with something that could destroy them. And your brain still contains that ancient dance. You are attracted to fire and cautious of fire at the same time. You stare at it because it comforts you, but you watch it carefully. You respect its power. You don't take your eyes off it completely. This is the evolutionary inheritance you're living with every time you light a candle or stare into a fireplace or watch flames flicker on a screen. You're not just relaxing, you're participating in a conversation that your species has been having for 200,000 years. A conversation between comfort and danger, between home and the wild. Your body knows this even if your mind doesn't, so it does what it's always done. It watches, it waits, it stays alert. But also, it trusts. And that trust, that deep nervous system recognition that fire means safety, is why you can't stop staring. This is why humans are the only animals that gather around fire for no reason other than to watch it. We're not getting warmth that we need. We're not cooking food right now. We're not signaling to other tribes that we're here. We're just sitting, watching, feeling the pull. Because somewhere, deep in your brain, in the same circuits that control your heart rate and your breath and your basic survival instincts, fire still means home. Fire still means the people you love gathered close. Fire still means you're safe. And when you sit down tonight and light a candle, or when you see a fire somewhere and find yourself unable to look away, now you'll understand what's really happening. Your nervous system is recognizing something your conscious mind forgot. It's remembering what it took 2 million years to learn. It's coming home to fire.